someone experiences a traumatic event, 4 stress chemicals are released in the brain. Memories, which are normally encoded and saved sequentially in the brain, are now encoded as intense fragments, almost always as sensory fragments. This makes it difficult for victims of trauma to recall memories, which can frustrate investigators.
Start from the beginning and tell me what happened.
The good news is that those memories are there and accurate and can be retrieved. You can successfully interview someone who has experienced trauma by taking ownership of putting the puzzle together based on the pieces they give you, instead of relying on the victim to hand you the completed puzzle. Officer Smith arrested a suspected sex trafficker last night during a routine traffic stop and asked a victim in the car to come into the station this morning to talk. He was recently trained on how trauma affects the brain. Let's observe his interaction with this victim.
Hey Smith, a girl from the trafficking arrest last night is in interview 1 for you.
Hey, can you move her into Captain Johnson's office instead? Good morning, Sarah. I'm Officer Smith. Do you remember meeting me last night? Before we get started, I'll grab us some drinks. What can I get you? A soda? Coffee? Water?
Water would be good.
It gets a little chilly in here sometimes. Can I get you a jacket?
No, I'm okay.
A victim's power is taken away when they are trafficked. When you connect with them in this way, you are counteracting some of that effect by restoring control, even with these small choices.
Like I said last night when we talked, you are not in any trouble at all. I know this is difficult to talk about, so thank you for agreeing to come in today. Now, Sarah, we're just talking here. So, let me know if at any point you want to take a break, okay? Can you tell me about your experience?
I met Dee online, Instagram, I think. He was really nice, asked me a lot about myself, and made me feel special. Then one day he asked me to send him a shot, a sext. So I did. That's when it all went south. He told me I needed to work for him. I didn't know what he meant at first. Then he said I'd do it or he'd post the photo on my social media and send it to my parents. I freaked out. My parents would flip. He told me how things would go down. I was totally grossed out. He said it wasn't so bad, that I was still his girl and all, but that he just needed the money. He said one day we'd have enough money and I could stop. We'd move away together, be a family. I wanted to believe him, but things were never the same after that first time.
Do you remember what time of the year it was when you first met him? Was it around a holiday or a special event?
Yeah, I just got back from visiting my brother for Thanksgiving.
Can you tell me anything about where you were trafficked?
Hotels, mostly. There was one near the freeway where we stayed a lot, and I think it was called Dreamtime Hotel.
Do you remember the colors on the sign outside or the color of the door?
I think the sign was green and blue, and the door was blue, I think, but I can't be sure.
Could you see the stadium from the parking lot?
I don't think so, but I could see that tall building. You know the one with the lights on top that change colors? Sometimes I just sit outside and watch those lights and wonder what the people in that building were doing.
If you feel comfortable, can you tell me what you remember about being trafficked?
It all started when he posted pictures of me.
Were there any sounds that stood out to you during this time?
Yeah, there was this annoying whooshing sound coming from the room next door at night. Then one day, when I was getting ice, I saw the girl who stayed in that room and I asked her about it. She said it was her dad's machine that he used to help him breathe while he was sleeping.
This girl and her dad were there a lot?
I think he was the manager or something. We stayed in that room next to their apartment and he ran the office.
Were there any smells that stood out to you during this time?
Yeah, there was a...
Is there anything else about your experience that you want to share with me?
One day, we were going to...
This officer may want to tell this young lady that she's too good for this, thinking this is a compliment, but it only serves to increase the guilt and shame that she may feel. Before the victim leaves, give her information on organizations in your area that provide services for victims of sex trafficking. It's important that she knows there are people with specialized skills to help her work through her trauma. Because the memories are fragmented, important information will most likely surface over time. Make the victim feel comfortable in contacting you as memories come up. Finally, remind yourself throughout the process that it is not the victim's responsibility to finish the puzzle.